Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, Fred Matiang'i actually read a huge derogation to Bondo Oboda farm where Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga actually was laid to rest. And when Fred Matiang'i actually read that huge derogate to that farm, there are various gifts that were delivered to Mama Ida. And among those gifts is bananas, wimbi, and also there was a portrait that was given to Mama Ida Odinga. And as you know, in the Gusii tradition, when you go to where somebody has died, it is very wise for you to take to that place food. If you come in Gusii and somebody has died somewhere, there are various things that we have to carry from our homes to that home where somebody has died. And you will find that some people will come with firewood. Other people will come with foods. That is actually what we always do in the Gusii tradition. And that is why when Fred actually went to visit the Raila Odinga family, he had to carry around foods. And as you know, in the Gusii tradition, matoke is very plenty in Gusii. And also, we all have what we call wimbi, and that is actually the seeds which we make flour. And you will find that most elderly people, they will feed on food which is actually made out of wimbi. People who are diabetic, people who have hypertension, and you will find that wimbi food is very strong and is also used to make porridge. So the sign of going along with food is that you must take food to where somebody has died, so that if visitors will come to that family, they will never go hungry. And if they spend a night, they will have firewood so that fire can be placed and they will always be able to protect themselves from the cold. So that is actually what is done in the Gusii tradition. And that high delegation, there are various leaders who actually accompanied Fred Matiang'i. And those leaders actually were balanced in the entire Gusii nation, because I saw leaders, those who comes from Nyamira County, and I saw leaders who comes from the Kisii County. And some of those leaders include Nyaribo, the governor of Nyamira. We also have Dr. Sam Ongeri, the person who was very prominent during the Nyayo era and during the Kibaki era. We also have had Onyonga and very many leaders from the Gusii nation. And when I actually interrogated about that feast, which actually happened yesterday, I foresaw that it was political in nature. Because if you know Nyanza as a region, we always have two tribes, mainly. We also have other tribes, but two are the main tribes, and that is the Kisii and the Luo. And that is why sometimes you hear people saying Luo Nyanza and Kisii Nyanza. And we have always been sharing the podium of politics. Because if you can remember, people from the Gusii nation, they have always been fighting for Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, now and again. And I feel that this time, when Fred Matiang'i had to go for that feast, It was actually showing that people from this region, we are brothers and sisters, and we must always protect each other. We must come through each other when things are good and when things are bad. And I also remembered the time when Fred Okengo Matiang'i was actually being interrogated by DCI. Raila Amolo Odinga actually stood with Fred Okengo Matiang'i. If you had missed that, let me make your memories to remember.
And then he can even go and present himself to the police officer and for interrogation and record a statement. But this idea of arresting senior citizens at this hour of the night is something that is completely repugnant to civilization.
It's unacceptable.
This is completely unacceptable in our society. But I have said, and I will repeat it in a day, we are dealing with an illegal regime, a regime that usurps power against the will of the people of Kenya, imposed on the people of Kenya by one rogue Mr. Wafula Chebukati. And that's why we are seeing what's happening here today. But the people of Kenya will not take this lying down. The people of Kenya must resist imposition of a legal regime on them, which now want to use the power of the police to terrorize this country. It is completely unacceptable. It will not be accepted, and we will not allow it to happen, not only to Mr. Matiang'i, but to anybody else. So we are here. We will stand with Mr. Matiang'i and anybody else to ensure that the law of this country is respected.
After seeing that, you can see that the late Raila Amolo Odinga came and stood with Fred Okengo Matiang'i during that hard time. And Fred Okengo Matiang'i was able to come through that because many people from the Nyanza region, they were able to stand with him. And during that feast, this was the speech that Fred Okengo Matiang'i made. Please listen to it.
Us who share in your loss. It may be singular to you in a particular way, but collectively as a country and as a society, we share the loss of Mzee, but we also celebrate him in this process because there are very few people who in their life on this earth are able to make the kind of impact that Prime Minister Raila Odinga made. May God strengthen you, may God comfort you, and may the Lord walk with you.
After listening to that speech, you can hear how Fred Okengo Matiang'i is making that speech. He's making that speech, which is very brotherly, which doesn't have those contentions of what? Of politics. He is actually showing the people in the Luo community that we are brothers, we are sisters, and we must be together. And that is why he had to stand with the Raila family at this hard time. And he even told Raila Jr. that this is a hard time. I know this rose, sometimes it's individual in nature. You feel that rose because this was your father. But you have seen how Raila touched everybody, and you have seen how we have come to stand with you. So that feast, even if it was brotherly in nature, I could see that Fred Okengo Matiang'i was also trying to portray something. Even probably if you look at that picture or the portrait he handed to Mama Ida Odinga, on that portrait, it was Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga and Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And it implied that Fred Okengo Matiang'i, they were close friends with Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And they have been working together. That is what merely that photo was implying. But in other words, he was trying to tell the Luo community, but look, we have been together. Why can't also this time, when I am here, as one of the leader who is stepping at presidency at the national level, why can't we also move together as a society? And if you also look very keenly, there are two key leaders who have been very prominent during this time of the loss of Right Honorable Raila Molo Odinga. And one of the person is also the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was able to go to that region. He was at the home of Right Honorable Raila Molo Odinga, and even he spent the night at that place. That means he was touched much about the death of Right Honorable Raila Molo Odinga, because you remember they were very close. It was brothers who were very close, and they could even drink together. They could take polish together. That's how they were put it. But remember, if Uhuru Muigai is so close to the Raila family, then he might be persuading them that because you come from Nyanza, and because I have also picked somebody from Nyanza who is Fred Okengo Matiang'i, why can't we move together? Because we have always been friends. So I feel that Fred Okengo Matiang'i was speaking something to the Luo nation. Let me give you also this video so that you can continue viewing it. Then we can come and give a recap. Please listen to this.
Many of us to the development of the Prime Minister Raila Odinga's institute, or library, but a much bigger institution that will capture the reality of his large contribution to our life. And Mama and Junior say they are thinking about things, and we said, fair enough. When that time comes, as they think through, we will very gladly be part of that journey as members of the family of this region, members of the family of Kenya, because Prime Minister Raila Odinga was focused on Project Kenya, not Project Nyanza or Project Corner of some kind. He was focused on our country as a nation, and we will contribute as nationals of Kenya, and especially nationals of Kenya from this part of our country, to that big vision, to that effort of immortalizing the contribution and the life of Prime Minister Raila Odinga. So, my brother Junior, thank you so much. I know for sure that there's a way in which your loss is singular, and that we can't pretend that words and speeches will alleviate that. But we pray that you find comfort in the fact that collectively you have seen the love that is being expressed around for your father, and that will encourage you. And we pray that the Lord comforts you, and that the Lord shines His face upon you and walks with you in this journey of life from where Mzee left you. And at any time you need a shoulder to lean on as we carry on with this life. Life is what it is. We will be here as your brothers and sisters to walk with you in our small mortal way that the Lord may enable us to. Thank you so much indeed.
That this Fred Okengo Matiang'i is trying to talk about even the future. He's telling the Raila family that anytime you feel you need us, we will be there. We will be there even to make this institute, the Raila Odinga Institute, to be a big institute which will cater to more people, because he believes that Raila Molo Odinga had done a lot of the Kenyans. And the way even Fred Okengo Matiang'i was actually framing his speech, he was portraying himself that I really don't want to come here as a kingpin. I really don't want to come here as the big person who has been left in the whole Nyanza region. No, he came in a very clear way. He came and said that, Raila always thought about Kenya. And if you also look at me, I think about Kenya. That's why he couldn't actually betray himself as probably a Kisi kingpin. He just went there as a brother, as somebody who is going to somebody who is a neighbor to him. But there was a lot of political message which I could see in that, underneath, that we are brothers, we are sisters. Then why should we not move in this journey together? So if you can remember, as I have said, the Gusii community has always supported Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Even if you look back to the Nyachai era, Raila Amolo Odinga never supported the Gusii community. But this time, without actually reminding them about the Nyachai time, this time the Gusii nation is going there with a friendly touch, with a friendly relationship. And I think with this, Fred Okengo Matiang'i is trying to reach to the Luo nation, because he is going there with open hands. He is going there as a brother. I really don't know what you are saying about the feast of Fred Okengo Matiang'i to the late Raila family. Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to palm this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends, and if your friends are lovers of politics, then it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for those ones who have actually subscribed to this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute and subscribe. And for those ones who always watch our videos, let me say thank you. May God bless you until we meet in our next political conversation. Goodbye.